Hello, likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only, your baby girl, Malaika. So, likers, today we are doing the critical review of Mr. Aloy's series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 14. It starts with what's his name, Nangs, trying to put a call across. He's trying to reach out to someone, but it's not going through. Then he's wondering why, and his secretary told him that because they're busy, their line is very occupied, and that also there's someone here to see him. The person's name is Kenny. That's Kennedy. He says he's Jonathan's friend, so Hanks asked him to let him in. So the next he shows Kenny, who goes into Jonathan's office. He greets Jonathan was happy to see him, and Jonathan was, he was very welcoming. He was very um very nice, you know so he's asked Kenny to have a seat, and I wanted to offer him something, but Kenny made him to understand that he was there for, it was strictly business, and that he was okay. He didn't need anything. Kenny was being very professional. He just wanted to get straight to the point and to state the reason why he was there. And Hanks also was eager to hear what was going on. you know so Kenny was there to talk to Jonathan based on the fact that Kenny already spoke with what's her name, Clara. And Clara told him about the state of her relationship with Jonathan, but it's with Hanks. But it was more like, Kenny is this type of friend that really cares so much. He just wants everyone to be happy. He just wants everyone to get along. He doesn't want issues with anyone. So to him, he was there to really make sure that Jonathan was not overstepping his boundaries. So Kenny made his point very clear. Try to make Jonathan understand that what he's doing is wrong. For him to be taking care of a married woman while in her husband's house. You understand? So that he thinks that Jonathan is doing very wrong. But to Jonathan's defense, I say Jonathan, sorry, Hanks. To Hanks's defense, Hanks has his reason why he's trying to help Clara. And Hanks has always made it very clear that so long as Clara is down financially, and Clara being the woman that made him the man that he is today, he will do everything to help her. He will stand by her. He will provide for her, until she is stable on her feet financially. It doesn't matter who she's married to, so long as she's not financially, financially independent, he will help, without asking for anything and without wanting anything in return. But Kenny is finding it difficult to believe that Hanks just wants to help without expecting anything in return. So that was when Hanks tried to make him understand that the reason why he is who he is today is because of that particular Clara, And for that reason alone, it doesn't matter whether Clara is married or not. So long as he can't see her, fulfill her dreams, he cannot see her where he expected her to be. If she was his wife, he'll always step up to help, And his door is still open should, in case Clara is not okay in her marriage, if her husband, choose to be an a-hole, his doors are open for him to, to receive her if she opens the door for him. Yes, he was very clear about it. He said even though him and Clara, they are friends, and he has no intention regarding to that. But if Jonathan cannot take care of his family, cannot take care of his wife, he will do that if needs be. And Kenny didn't find it funny, because to him it is not okay. Yes, it's true, it's not okay. He's your friend, but if your friend cannot step up, somebody else will step up for him. So, but Kenny was shocked to hear that Clara has been an integral part of Hanks's journey. So Hanks is just making him to understand that, this is why this woman will mean so much to me. She will always be important because she played a big role in my life. She is a reason for me to be where I am today. If not for her, I wouldn't have been here. If she didn't sell her land to help out, I wouldn't have been here. So nothing you say matters. So the next scene shows Debbie and Clara. Debbie, Clara is being Clara, telling Debbie everything, about the fact that she wants to help Jonathan with a job. And Debbie is quick to jump into action to try to discourage Clara not to do that, giving her reasons, being that Jonathan will want to work in Hanks's office just because he wants to destroy Hanks's business. And that is true. At least for the first time, Debbie is really saying the truth without realizing that she's saying the truth. She's thinking that she's sabotaging things, for Jonathan, not knowing that, honestly speaking, she's being truthful. She is being truthful because Jonathan has ulterior motives, of wanting to go and work there without Clara or Debbie even knowing. So Clara is saying that no, Jonathan is her. To her, she finds it normal, wanting to assist her husband. But Debbie, being the messy and the evil Lolo person that she is, she's trying to discourage her, trying to make her see one or two reasons why she shouldn't help. Because Jonathan is bad news, Jonathan is this, Jonathan is that. But this is the same Jonathan that she goes behind to condemn Clara as well. So she made Clara to know that helping Jonathan, it means you just want Jonathan to, like, she told Clara everything that Jonathan is definitely planning without knowing that she's like really exposing Jonathan, thinking that she's trying to stop these people from helping each other, not knowing that she's exposing him for real. So the next thing shows Benny in her bedroom, on her phone, and Clara comes to make her understand that she is now a big girl. She can take care of herself. There are certain things that she can no longer do for her, like ironing for her, because she has stopped doing her laundry for a very long time now because she taught her how to do it. She can handle it herself. So she wants her to do most of her stuff because very soon she'll be at the university. Who will be doing those things for her? Like what a real mom will teach you. And she's right. At a certain age, kids, at a certain point, they have to do things on their own because you doing it for them, you're not helping them. Because at the end of the day, they'll leave home someday. Who is going to do it for them? They'll have to do it for themselves, So, Debbie was being Debbie. Debbie was just begging her mom, for her mom to understand. Benny, rather. And when her mom wanted to go, she tried to remind her mother, she wants her dad to work. Because remember, her dad has been manipulating her without her knowing. He has been using her, to try to talk to her mother concerning the job of a thing. And she's like being on her mother's neck, wanting her to talk to Mr. Hanks and everything. It's not really easy. Like the pressure on Clara is just too much because Clara is being pressured by Jonathan, pressured by Benny, pressured by Debbie. At the end of the day, she has her business to run. It's just crazy. She's trying everything. Kids and their parents, especially daughters and their fathers, you try to convince them to make them see. They will not want to see it your way. She doesn't care about what her mother is saying. All she wants is for her mother to just give her father a chance, because to her father has changed. He's a better person now. Honestly speaking, he can change. As if people change, people wake up, go to bed at night, wake up in the morning, they have changed. Is that how easy life is? She tried everything to explain to Benny that, listen to me, I know your dad. He cannot just change. Like Benny and kids have this thing of, once you've told them something, they will stick. They'll win you on that thing. Because she once told her that you should give people chances in life. People can change, blah, blah, blah. So Benny is sticking on that. Benita is just sticking on that thing. Mama, give Dada a chance. He can people change, stuff like that. And like Clara just got tired and just had no choice than to accept, to talk to Hanks so that Hanks could give Jonathan a job. And Benny was very happy when her mother assured her that she was going to do that. So the next thing shows Clara, who went to, the next day to see Hanks and begging for Hanks to give her husband a job, And Hanks was shocked. Like, Hanks was like, "What? You want me to give your husband a job?" Because to him, it's more like, "Hello, have you forgotten how much we fight? Have you forgotten how your husband could, if he could buy me, he would definitely buy me because of you? Have you forgotten how much, like, he doesn't like to see me? Have you, have you, have you, have you?" So to him, it's more of that. But to her, she doesn't really see it that much. She doesn't see that. All she sees is she wants her husband to be, man enough to be able to cater for the home, because to her, she feels uncomfortable, catering for the home, knowing very well that it doesn't make her husband happy. It makes her husband feel inferior. So she'll rather come and humiliate herself, beg if need be, so that Hence could give her husband a job. She doesn't mind. And like us, there are women like this. I can do this for my husband, really, but if he deserves it, though, yes. Not the type of this guy. No, no, no. If he deserves it, you know that yes, he really truly wants to work, and he did. Yeah, of course, why not? Why not? Many hands do like job. You have to. If you can, you should. You understand? But not the type that is planning to do evil with that opportunity. You understand? So she tried to make Hans to understand that, like any opportunity, that if Hanks does not want to employ him in his office, if he can recommend him somewhere, she'll be grateful. And besides, Hanks is the only person whom she could ask help from. She has no other person to ask help from. And Hanks is this type that likes her, and he has no choice. So the next thing shows Hanks at home, stressing over the matter, not knowing what to do, wondering why would this woman be this nice to her husband and everything, and like he's been stressing. And mothers always know their children. No matter how many times you tell them that you're okay, they know that you're not. They just want you to spill the beans. Just say it. What is disturbing you? And Hanks couldn't hold it no more because his mother knew that something was up. But Hanks, the problem that Hanks has is that he finds he can't understand how is it possible, that Clara will love her husband so much, that Clara will be so kind, despite the way her husband treated her. That is the aspect where Hanks is looking at, To him, based on the way she was treated by her husband, she's not supposed to be this nice. She wasn't supposed to be this cool, to come on to this extent that she will come to him to ask for a job for him. That was not what he expected. So even his mom was surprised. And things like this, like us, let's be honest, we are all humans. It will make you question yourself, because even his mom was like, if Jonathan truly, sent his wife to beg, I can't lie, Jonathan is up to something. Yes, he must be up to something, because a man with so much pride that like Jonathan, he cannot just send his wife to go and beg for a job, from her ex that he dislike. You understand? Then he wants to just walk like that. Nah. Thank God that Hanks and his mom are not gullible. No, 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 no. They are very intelligent people. They think. You understand? Yes, Hanks might love Clara, no doubt. He wants what's best for her, no doubt. He's ready to give her the world, no doubt. But he knows his limit. He knows. And also, thank God that his mother is a very understanding mother. She's that type that, speaks her mind. She speaks the truth. She will not try to stop her son from not helping people. No, 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 no. So she's okay for Hanks to give Jonathan a job, but Hanks should be very careful, because Jonathan is is planning something. Jonathan, and thank God also Hanks is a very intelligent person, so he can see through him, definitely. So he's telling his mom not to bother. He will know what's up, when the time is right, because definitely he knows that Jonathan must be up to something. So the next scene shows Clara that's at home. She's just exhausted. I think she's back from home and her phone is ringing. It is Hanks calling, So she picked up the phone. Eventually, Hanks is giving her the good news, of him wanting to see Jonathan the next day. So the next thing shows Hanks that's on the other end of the call, speaking to Clara about the discussion they had earlier, wanting to meet up with Hank so that they could talk, because it is not about him just taking a job and giving it to Hank. Like, he needs to talk to him to understand why he needs a job in his company, because to him, Hanks Hanks doesn't like him. So the next thing shows Jonathan doesn't like him. So the next thing shows Jonathan that is sleeping, and Clara goes to him, to give him the good news. So Clara went and told him about the call, that Hanks call, that Hanks wants him in his office the next day, at 9 a.m. And Jonathan was shocked because he wasn't expecting it. He knew that Clara was going to think about it, but also at the same time, I know that he knew that his daughter was going to pressure Clara. Yes, he definitely knew that his daughter was going to pressure Clara into doing that. That was why, he went and manipulated his daughter. But honestly speaking, if I was Hanks, I can't lie. Jonathan, I can't lie. I'll like keep my act straight. Yes, I might have wanted to go there because of revenge and all the rest. I would think, because at the end of the day, you still need a job. Like I just came back from taking my bath, evening bath. So you still need a job to take care of your family. So if you are dumb enough, not to do what you have to do, and you think that you should go on revenge mode, on your wife because his ex gave you a job, maybe you want to ruin his company, you're a fool. So the next thing shows Clara and Benny having their breakfast, and Jonathan is coming downstairs behind Clara, and he's in this happy mode, very happy. He doesn't want to eat with them. He just wants to go to Hanks's office, to meet up with Hanks. He's so happy. He's very excited, And the most exciting part is that he's even calling Clara pet names, like honey, stuff like these are things that he hasn't done in ages, He hasn't done in ages, ever since he lost his job. And Clara is confused because Clara cannot recognize this man. To her, this is not her husband, because this guy is something else. He has changed. And those are red flags, like us. Because nobody on this earth that we are changes overnight like that. No. No, 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 no. Even Benita was shocked. She was surprised that, like, what's going on? So Clara told Benita that she is scared. She seeing her husband like that, she is scared because she definitely knows that something is not right. To her, that is not her husband. He was too good to be true. She knows her husband very well, and she knows that he cannot do that. So the next thing shows Hanks that is in Jonathan that is Hanks's office waiting for him. And Hanks was told by the security he was shocked to see Jonathan, who came an hour earlier. Hanks definitely took his seat and was wondering, like, how come Jonathan came so soon? And all of a sudden, there's something that happened that shocked Hanks, when Jonathan called him boss. And he was like, guy, be calming down. Be calming down. What's going on? What is happening? Like, I've not employed you yet. You're here for us to talk. Why would you want me to give you a job when we both know that we dislike each other because of your wife? But Jonathan is trying to play it cool, like, guy, I'm not reasoning that stuff like that. So all I want is a job to be able to take care of my family. But Hanks is not buying it, because Hanks know very well that nobody changes overnight like that. Nobody wakes up in the morning and he has changed. He has forgotten about what happened the previous day. Nah, nah, nah. Do you have amnesia? It's not possible. So, to his defense, what he's trying to make Hanks to understand is the fact that his problems are bigger than his emotions right now, or than his ego right now, and that he's at a point where he needs to put his emotions aside, and think about his family. So what he's trying to say to him right now, it's more about his family than the feel that they can have, both of them. That this is bigger than him and Hanks. He's not even saying it that way. All he's thinking about is how to fit his family, because that if Hanks it was on in his shoes, he will understand. you know he will definitely understand that for it to be his wife taking care of the family, taking care of the bills and everything, it will make any man wants to drop his ego. It will make any man wants to understand that, almost, your ego is not needed at this point. What is needed is for you to fend for your family. He said, because he tried to make Hans to understand that yes, he knows people where he could go to, but they cannot help him. The only person who could help him now is none other than Hans. So that's why he went to him. But Hanks is not a fool. Hanks knows very well that this guy is up to something. Hanks knows very well that nobody changes like that. Nobody changes like that. Like us, we are going to end this video. Like us, very soon I'll stop doing reviews, movies reviews. I'll start doing celebrity gist. I'm a born now on celebrities. That's what I'll be doing very soon. I don't know when, but very soon. Maybe in the next 1 or 2 months. Yeah, and maybe I'll just put it that as soon as this series ends, this will be my last series to review. I'll be doing celebrity gist, because I realize that I'm not in touch with you guys, because Mr. Aloy puts it every 2 days, sometimes every 3 days, so it's not working for me anymore. Yes, I'll start doing celebrity amiibo. So like we say, you should always be conscious of your entourage. Yeah, you should always be conscious of people around you, because it is not easy. I promise you. Like, people around you will F you up if they can, because look at this. Hanks is ready to forgive this guy and give him an opportunity, whereas he's coming into his life because he wants to destroy him. Yes, he's coming into his life because he wants to destroy him. Yes, so like us, protect your mental health, protect everything that you love. Yes, protect the people around you. And like I always say, take care of yourself and keep your mental health in check. And on this note, I have to say bye.